What's going on? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you already know, please subscribe so you get more videos like this. Go check out the new merch. This came out fantastic. So I've been trying to design things in my spare time. I got a whole bunch of new shirts coming out, I think, that are pretty amazing. The quality of the shirts, if you guys have bought any in the past few months, like I would say this year, we upped the game there. So super comfortable, high quality t-shirts. Go check it out at reliablehvacr.net. We have the new American flag HVAC version, new podcast merch, and we are going to be dropping, I think I can already say this, HVAC wear. So if you guys want some fun shirts that you can wear any day of the week, wear it for work, because we have some real discreet ones, and then wear it, you know, the fun shirts as well. If you guys want to wear that on the weekend, I just want to make cool shirts and cool designs that, you know, I've been thinking about for a while. So go check it out. Link down below. Now, what I was saying is that we're gonna start wrapping all of our vehicles. So if you guys run a business, thinking about running your own business, anything like that, the best form of advertising, it's gonna be two very easy ones for us, or for anybody. It's gonna be a word of mouth, and it's gonna be a wrap. Now, it doesn't have to be a full wrap. It can be lettering, it can be whatever, as long as the name is nice and big, along with like the number or website, wherever you're trying to direct them to. We've been trying to build up our website, SEO, all that kind of stuff. We have somebody doing that for us right now, and Jobber does a lot of that for us. If you guys didn't know, you can go into Jobber, free trial and discount, 20% off. You can get that link also down below, and you will you'll be able to do a lot of campaigning, which is like email marketing, text messages, you know, interacting with customers in a customer hub, messages, all that kind of stuff. And you can also ask for Google reviews. That's been something that we're getting into right now. That Jobber can do all that automation for you, for your business. And now they even have to where you can have a website from Jobber. Like, you go in there, you go to the, you know, the website section, and you can build a nice professional looking website. So I can't stress enough, guys, go try out Jobber. It's been night and day since we switched to it, and it helps run our business, where I'm always in the field, especially in the summer. And a lot of our half of our guys use a laptop, half of them use the phone. I personally do everything on the phone. A couple clicks, whatever. There's AI built into it now. So like I said, go help yourself out and get that link, free trial and discount for yourself. But I will say, and they even had the audacity to leave their sticker here, we're trying out the guy that does our uniforms. He does wraps now. So we are taking, I'm dropping off. I went with my dad to drop off the truck, basically. So his truck, I'll show it, you know, when I can right now with some footage. And I'm really excited. Hopefully it comes out really nice. So I went for a bold design on my van, and I had to change it. Now, my son is very blunt about it. You know how kids are, right? He's been showing me a few, and I've already seen them, but he's been showing me some vans. He'll snap a picture with his phone and all that, and he'll text me, "Hey, Dad, this one, they copied you," or "Hey, Dad, this one is not as good as yours. Yours is better." And I love hearing that, you know, as a guy that actually designs his own stuff. So there's been a few vehicles that have this. Now, I didn't come up with the original design completely. I did take inspiration from some Google images, but nobody had that design. And now all of a sudden there's like one major company that has the same design, just one extra color or one different color, and a couple others that are the same exact color. So I was like, I got to change it up. Went with a full color now, bold designs. We redid all the logos and all that, because I didn't want to look like anybody else. So that's another tip for you, is be unique. So the way we get work, like I said, is word of mouth and the van wrap. We've had people follow us, especially my dad, you know, following them because they want to get the number down. They want to get the website. We have the website now. We have all our social media up there too as well. That way, at a quick glance, they need to be able to recognize the name, because now they can just Google us. I've been able to put a lot of content on the internet, to where I'm, even for my own reliable HVACR content, I'm tagging or hashtagging Reliable Kitchen. So you'll be able to Google us if you need to. But not only that, is like quick contact info. So either a number is pretty good, but that's kind of outdated. Really, you need to be like, it needs to be like a social media handle or a website, a super short website. We have 2 domains. One is like the full name and one is a shortened name, and they both direct to the same website. So a little bit of you know, tips right there. And then if you guys are struggling to get work, because I've heard that one too, the only other thing you can do is actually go door to door. So we do restaurants. We literally went restaurant to restaurant, stopping at restaurants. Hey, can I speak to your manager? Who's in charge? I got brochures, I got business cards, I got whatever, right? Make it appealing to them and stand out and be unique, and just kind of educate them on what you do, what you offer, the benefits, what equipment that you guys work on, all that stuff. I identify as a commercial refrigeration technician, but I will not turn down any HVAC work, right? If you can do one, you can do the other. But like I said, audacity that they left their sticker on here. The wrap was not perfect from the previous company. And I was like, whatever, dude, like it's crooked. It's there's bubbles in certain sections, and not a big deal. I was happy overall with it, even though I had to fight with them on one of the logos in the back. It's like the flame snowflake typical HVAC logo. I was using that basically so people could identify real quick HVAC before I redid the other logos, right? Because we had no identity with our logos. It was just like the name. So I did that, and they were stubborn that they kept mirroring it on the other side. I'm like, no, you're changing my logo. I want it exactly how I want it. So I had to fight with them a little bit on that. And then, you know, I was like, oh, it looks pretty good, right? Bubbles here and there. It's a little crooked, but you know, we took it until, and they offered to fix it. I run so much, I can't be without the van for that long. So what happened was, you know, they got to take everything off of the door, right? So the power switches, all that stuff. So what had happened was, I'm pretty sure they had a new guy working on my stuff, because, I mean, for one, all of these are loose. So basically they broke whatever the bracket, whatever holds it right here. You can kind of see that it's like broken off, the tabs there. Those are completely broken. So I noticed when I would close the door, or even when I pull on this, it would lift up, right? So craftsmanship right there. And I noticed it on both sides, because I didn't notice it on mine, or I did notice it on mine because I had to use my windows, but on the passenger, I thought that was a fluke until I went over to the passenger, and I think my son got in or something, or my brother. And when he closed it and left, I noticed that one popped up too. Also, can you tell I'm missing a whole ass panel here? I told him, I think this is loose, and I told him about the power windows and all that. And as soon as I got up on the expressway, that thing just flew off. And they're both, the other one is still there, but the other one's loose. So I'm gonna have to order that. I forgot to order it. If I do, I'll show it. But yeah, so the windows and a lot of bubbles. So, I mean, not a big deal. I was like, whatever, it's loose, I'll take it in. They offered to get parts if I needed them. But essentially, I also felt like these buttons were a little mushy. That, I'm not gonna blame them on that. It's probably the switch giving out. But I was just upset, right? Because I gave them my van in a certain condition, and then to get it back broken, I was like, what the hell, right? So again, not a big deal. These cost me like, they were super cheap. They cost me like less than 20 bucks. And all it is, you know, 2 pins, not a big deal. So we're gonna put in the new one, and I can show you here the clips right here. So you can see these have the 2 clips, and these were completely broken off. So I mean, that kind of sucks, right? So I'll just plug in the new ones, and I already tested them. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not the motor. And now we got working power windows, right? So all good. I can go through drive-throughs again. That was my main concern, right? Yeah, this one here, the same exact problem, just completely comes up. So those clips in the front are bad, so might as well, I got the pair, might as well change them both out. This window does work perfectly fine, but I do like that the new ones have a nice LED light on them. Blue, the little icon on the new one lights up. I think this one still did a little bit. The driver's side didn't light up at all anymore. But these were like a light blue or like a real light color. These are a solid blue, so real easy to see. Just looks nicer. All right, so the guy said, you know, drop it off, pick it up on Monday. So he's gonna work on it over the weekend. I'll bring you guys along and kind of show you what the truck looks like. And then we're gonna start, you know, just dropping them off one by one. Hopefully everything comes out perfect. You can see like what my van looks like. We'll compare it to my dad's truck, and he has a nice truck. He just got it not too long ago. But we've been running all year. I think everybody got their vehicles like this year. I got mine a little late last year, I believe. And then everybody's been running new vehicles or like different vehicles. We have a few guys a couple guys that are running trucks. Our new guy's running an Astro, but he kind of wants a little bit of a bigger van. So he's already been with us for a couple months. Maybe in another couple months, he'll get something decent, or I might end up with a new van every year or two. And my dad already wants to take this one. I'm not ready yet to go or to step back, because that was one thing that I had brought up to him. I was like, I could technically supervise at this point if we're going to be hiring a lot of people, because we hired 2. There's a 3rd one that might be coming pretty soon. And I think another guy was interested. And these are all young not kids. I don't want to call them kids. These are all young technicians that are in like trade school that want to come out. So we're more open to it now that we have things more under control. Where, you know, when we started, we were running around trying to build up our reputation and all that. And I think we have it now. And if anything, like I said, if I can become more of a supervisor, which I do anyway, on top of my own calls, I usually go out and help a lot of the guys that we have, or they get stuck, or it's something they don't know how to work on. I end up going out anyway. So, and I'm always there on the installs, the change outs, doing like more than half of the work. I need help with lifting and labor and all that, but I do a lot of the commissioning and installing and making sure the brazes are good, you know, vacuums, all that. So, like I said, eventually it's going to be more of a supervisor role, but I'm not there yet. So I just finished the freaking van loadout. Like I'll give you guys an update very soon on it, but I was thinking about it. It's just, I don't think I'm there yet. So eventually we might either get a new van, and I would just opt for something nicer. Or if I'm not having to take as much equipment or as many tools with me anymore, then I might end up getting a truck. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll come back, look at the truck real quick. And like, I just didn't want to be a dick about it. Like, that is crooked. And the other guy that I took the truck to noticed it right away. I mean, it is noticeable. I think they did awesome on the back though. They kind of helped me with this design. And then, you know, it's just these things right here. Like, this is not even or flush. And this spot up here too as well. And I think there's one more, but like, that was how I received it. And I didn't pick it up. I think my dad picked it up, and then I went to go get it from his place. And I immediately had to go run calls. Like, there was no way around it. And the guys were like, yeah, just bring it back. But like, that's like a callback in our industry. I don't want to have to take it back. This should not have passed as like, you know, that it's ready. It should have been redone. I was very tempted to kind of cut it and do it myself, but yeah, just, I don't know. Everything else looks great. Like, I really love the look of it. All right, so the truck actually turned out really awesome. We simplified it a little bit. And here
So let me tell you, one of the best changes we made recently was switching to an AI answering service. What that means is if somebody calls your business, whether they see it on your van, on your website, a Google search, whatever it is, they get greeted instead of being sent to voicemail. So they're going to get greeted. They're going to be asked what their complaint is, their information, and a few questions that you can set up in your AI answering service. Now, I know what you're saying. You might not want AI in your business, but it's a lot better than just not, answering that call when you're busy out in the field and you just need to know if it's a real customer. You can also just check if it's a local area code and then just call them back if they chose not to even, leave any message or anything. But more times than not, I skim through it because you get transcripts, you get recordings of all these calls. And when I go through it, it is like 80 to 90% of just people trying to get you to get a loan. It's probably scams a lot of the times, or sell you something, and you just need to filter those out and get down to the real customers. So instead of being interrupted all day with your phone ringing off the hook, an AI answering service is really cool to utilize in your business. CallRail has that with their voice assist. So on top of the transcripts and recordings, it also analyzes and gives you more data to help you with your business. On that note, CallRail also helps track your calls. So let's say you have a website or a van wrap with a call tracking number from CallRail. It can tell you, hey, this came in from that van wrap. This came in from your Google profile, your website, or that Facebook ad that you ran. And what that does is you know where to spend your money if you're getting zero calls from that Facebook ad. Okay, all of my calls came from the wrap. Cool, good to know. Focus on that. Focus on some other things instead of the ones that didn't generate any calls. So if you guys want a free trial, make sure you check that down below in the description. CallRail does call tracking, and now they have voice assist. It's just a really cool tool to have that you can, it helps you market, it helps you analyze data, and now it helps you take care of the customer so you can do, things that you're doing in the field or just take some time off. So what I was trying to say before I got rudely interrupted, this is how I do my designs. I go into Photoshop. I have pictures of my vehicle, and I just go in and with like a paint bucket and some brushes, throw the logos, fix them in the certain spots that I want. And then I send this off to whoever is doing our wrap. They're going to send you back a concept, basically. It's kind of like a final render at most places, and then you're good to go. Those are like the more complicated designs. The ones that I did for my dad, like that truck wrap, it was super basic. We ended up going with a solid color because my wrap initially had a gradient color, but you could barely see it. I do like it. I'm still torn between the two, but for the truck wrap, we did a solid color and just white lettering over it, and then the logo cutouts over it. So in theory, that should last a lot longer versus one. It's basically like a photograph sheet, right? They print the sheets on mine, and they paste them together basically and kind of fit them as a puzzle. That's why on mine you're going to see seams, and if they screw that up, which is why I said I didn't want to take it back to get it fixed, I think they have to redo a majority of those panels, those little pieces, right? So mine had I think 3 the length of the van. So there was, basically each piece was a third of the van, and they were kind of pieced together, and they have to overlap pretty perfect, and they normally don't. So that's why you're going to see like a wave wherever the break is, and they kind of overlap there. So tons of credit to the guys that do wraps, because those I would assume are very difficult to do in my opinion, but they don't come out perfect. So that's why I said we went with the more simplified version, which I've had on my vans before. It's just put down the base color and then start adding your lettering and logos on top of it, and that usually comes out pretty perfect. The only issue is we had some background colors to like the flame, like there was a black background behind the flame, and little things like that. Just, if you're going to nitpick. So now we're doing truck wraps. Like I said, this is another truck that we're going to end up getting wrapped. And this one does not have an enclosed back like a camper or whatever. This is just a regular Ford pickup truck. And basically we're kind of utilizing the space for the same information. So I want the website. That's where I want to direct these people to. And I still haven't decided how to do like the social media handle. I typically will add it just in case, because so much of my work is on my social media, right? So that's a big one. Even though it's my personal social media for my work, it's not the company as a whole. We did just make a work like Instagram account, so I'm kind of torn on how to do the social media going forward, like on the wraps. But this is just like a rough draft. Basically, I get the pictures. My dad took this picture, so it's a little close, and I go in with paint bucket, fill it in with the base color, and then kind of put my lettering on top. And like I said, I just send it over, and the guys that do the wrap will take care of that. Make sure it fits. And this is all it is, man. This is our best form of advertising. And I'm really trying to kind of simplify it, but also, have direction. We're going to have them go to the website. We're going to have the bright new logo colors. Social media is going to be up there. And the number is now, like I said, our new work number is our AI answering service. I've had good luck with that, so we're going to keep it. I do get people that just hang up. I do get people that, like one recently, but it was somebody trying to complain about driving, which whether you're a good driver or you make a mistake here and there, you're going to get those calls regardless. So they were trying to call, and they sounded super... They were going to be fun to talk to. Let's just put it that way. I tried calling back. They didn't want to. They kept sending me to voicemail. So I was like, all right, let them, do what they do. They did leave a negative review, which sucks, but I got it taken off because it was a little aggressive and it didn't pertain to the services that we provide. They were just saying, hey, I wasn't even involved in not even an incident. Like, they were just complaining that one of our drivers was trying to merge and they thought they cut the line or something. So it was really dumb. I've been accused of reckless driving because I'm in the proper lane and somebody else thinks that they have the proper way and they don't. That's why dash cams is another good tech tip. We're trying to put dash cams in all the vehicles now. I always have one in mind, and we're going to start putting those in more of the vehicles. So, you put yourself out there a little bit more and you're going to get complaints here and there. It comes with it. The other alternative is to go around in an unmarked van. Technically, by, like state law, you have to at least have your license on the side of the vehicle. So either way, they're going to find out who you are, or you're just breaking the law at that point. So full color, like stand out, be unique. I always tell people that. And advertise as much as you can. So we're updating our uniforms also to have our website. So I typically use Photoshop. Photomator has been recommended, and I'm going to give that one a try. It's very similar and a lot better priced. And we'll just show you our cool website. We do have, like I said, the AI number there. We got lucky. We had Jobber do our professional photos. So shout out to Jobber. Free trial and discount if you want to know how we run our business, which I need to get off right now and schedule our guys for tomorrow. So everything's automation. Take advantage of the AI and automation that you have at your fingertips. We do have a SEO marketing team that does our website. I've had several websites that I've done before, but they offered, so I was like, why not? I think it looks pretty cool. They got the aesthetic, nailed down. I think this is really cool. It has, like I said, our photos, tells people what we do. Pretty straightforward. Uh, why choose us, what we offer, and our reviews. So, you know, I think it looks pretty cool. So, if you guys, they're a sponsor of the podcast, Local HQ. Go to one of my podcasts. Go to the link. I'll link it down here too. Local HQ does our SEO, so we're searchable. They do our website, and they handle a lot of the business stuff online. Word of mouth and van wraps or lettering. Like I said, you can just letter if you want. Just name and number. Put what you do on there. But those are the simplest forms of advertising, and it still works to this day. I had somebody that I just gave a quote for about 15 refrigeration equipment, reach-in coolers, walk-ins, stuff like that. And I was just on a work lunch. So I was taking a lunch. I met up with my girlfriend at this sushi restaurant that's close by that we love. And the owner happened to be there at the time, saw the van, loved the van, took a picture of it, and then just had to stop me. He didn't want to bother, so we didn't really talk there. But he's like, yeah, I snapped a shot at your van. Had all the information I needed. Just wanted to kind of introduce myself. And we've been talking, like I said, giving out quotes and other things like that. So that works 100% still to this day. Word of mouth too. People get around. Hey, you did work here. You did work there. We see your van here. We see your van there. So that's always good to do, or good to have as well. But online presence, there's no way around it. Google reviews. People will look you up, search you on Google. Like I said, go look for a website. Not everybody likes to call on the phone, so they'll go to your website. We have a jobber form, and like I said, the AI thing, to where they can fill out something or call, leave a message, and we will get right back to them. And that's usually the quickest way to do things. We're just trying to take advantage and try to automate and just have work coming in regularly without us breaking a sweat. So like I said, there's tried and true ways to get business. I've done videos on this before. Word of mouth, that means just, get out there, do good work, and let people recommend you. And then van wraps is basically a mobile billboard. We've never done billboards. We've never done any heavy advertising. It's just the vans. People see them around. If we need work, we'll go leave business cards, but we try to stand out. Like I said, brochures, flyers, something, and then just do it in person and actually hand them to the restaurant owners or the managers or whoever you're trying to get in with. Physically hand it to them and talk to them. Be personable. Find out what they like. Make an impression so that they, remember you and feel comfortable. So those are always the biggest takeaways. And then online presence. Ever since COVID, online presence is going to be like a huge thing. If they can search you, because like the sushi place that I just picked up or quoted, he was like, man, are you how long have you guys been around? Like I couldn't find you on appliance repair searches. I was like, okay, no, we've been around almost 20 years, and thank you for that, information. Because you can always ask, how did you find us? Try to figure it out. Or like I said, CallRail kind of tracks that for you, just in case if you guys want to plant these call tracking numbers in different ads, you will know exactly where they came from. But if not, you can always ask the customer, how did you hear about us? Like, just initiate that conversation, because he told me that, and I was like, okay, I need to get back to my SEO team and be like, can we prioritize like appliance repairs or commercial appliances, something that the average customer will search, because that's always a hard part. Like, I know what I do technically in a more technical wording, but they might be like appliance repair, but it's actually for like a restaurant or commercial equipment. So I appreciate that he told me that. We were having a conversation that just came up. So I was like, okay, cool. I need to now kind of build that into our SEO to make sure that we are easily found, because, you know, whether they call for commercial or they call for residential, I just want the phone to be ringing. So even if we're turning down a lot of these calls, because we've had calls recently for like there was one for like a mansion because they had commercial equipment. I was like, we don't do residential, you know, sites or locations. So turned it down. But I mean, at least they were able to find us and ask us that question. And I could just tell them, you know, we don't do that kind of work. So I'd rather be found or easily found and have inquiries for everything than not have the phone ringing. So we're working on that. Hopefully this helped. It was just a little insight to the business side and kind of how I do things. If you guys have any specific questions, because, you know, sometimes I might think something that we do is not super interesting to talk about, but, you know, I have no idea. If you guys have any questions about business, about getting work, getting customers, how we do certain things in our business, let me know. I've tried to lay it out as best as I can. I will do more business side content going forward in the future. Thanks to CallRail, thanks to Jobber, sponsors like that. So check out those links, like I said, down below. Free trials. Most of them have discounts that you can get through my links. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys.